Oh my gosh, I'm on time and not late. Aren't we excited? I know I'm excited. Yay. Welcome to my favorite time of the week, Ask Away. And we got some really good questions tonight. Woo, y'all watched last week and you heard me say I don't want to have any contentious conversations in here. Then you come in the first question and throw in the word canceled, which needs to be defined because I want to make sure that what I say and what you hear are one and the same. So, congratulations for making it through another week, another really hot week. Here in Denver, it's been an incredibly rainy week. We've had so many thunderstorms, but I'm hoping that all of that will pass because we get a special guest coming into town this week. Special guest star, Nikia, Coach Nikia. I can't wait. I don't know if we'll be able to do any live streams together. She's got a really busy schedule, but I will get to see her for a little while we're in Denver, and I cannot wait. So there will be photos for Instagram for sure, and probably a lot of some alcohol consumed by her and Coach Amy while I drive a car. Either way, we'll try to share as much of the fun with you guys as we possibly can. So welcome to July. If you are racing in the fall, that was a really good time to start dialing in strength. If you are not yet able to really commit to strength, doing the 3 minutes a day that we do in the Facebook groups is going to go a long way. If we think of it as compounding interest, that'll be a big old bank account you can cash in on come race day in the fall. If you are not racing in the fall, strength, do it if you want to. It's not bad. There's no the strength that we have. There's no way you can specifically overdo it. I mean, unless you really just did too much of it, right? If you do what we do, the way we say to do it, then hopefully it won't be too much. It'll be just the right amount. Or if you want a little bit more, the place to get it is with Coach Janet in the Extra Mile, which is still free for the rest of July and August to anyone who wants to join. So with that in mind, we only have one thinking about in the group this week, and that is with Kristen Frazier, who she was a win. She just adopted a really cute puppy. If you have not seen this puppy yet, please go look on her Facebook page. But also want to keep in mind her Graham, who's not doing very well. This has been going on for a bit. It's never easy when, there's no easy way to have to manage end of life, especially for someone that you love. So knowing how hard that is, we are here for you, Kristen, and we love you. All right, now for the questions. Yeehaw. Hi, MK. I recently set a very large goal for myself. Think qualifying runs complete Western states when I've never run an ultra, kind of big. And I was super excited about it and felt really good about it. I shared my goal and excitement with someone kind of close to me, and they were completely unsupportive and questioned my ability to be successful, which really hurt. They recognized what they said was unhelpful and apologized. I also set the boundary for future goals conversations that I would only appreciate either supportive comments or constructive suggestions. However, the damage was done. I'm suddenly finding myself less excited about my goal, not giving as much effort to it, and doubting my ability to be successful, which is very much unlike me. Do you have any suggestions about how to mentally get back on track and get these negative thoughts out of my head so I can go back to working towards my goal? P.S. This person and I have a strong relationship, and I'm not looking for any suggestions regarding canceling them or distancing from the relationship as long as they're respecting my boundary. All right. So first of all, I got to respond to that last word. I'm not a cancel type of person. Partially because I feel like a lot of people don't know what the word means and they use it incorrectly. So I would never be like, you must cancel. There are times when people ask questions, or if you've been with me for a while, you were around when people were asking questions that were very, very loaded in the former versions of Ask Away about a spouse who would sabotage their runs, a spouse who would tell them how ugly they are every time they put on Lycra. And if I can't run in this, what else can I run in that my husband won't make fun of me? Those are emotionally abusive types of situations, right? That is a situation, 9 times out of 10, I would be like, get directly in office hours rather than have this conversation publicly with people, right? So if this was a situation where I thought canceling or the equivalent would be necessary, I would not be responding here. Okay. Number 2, I don't really like telling people how to conduct their personal relationships. From the way you've made it sound, that you said, hey, I don't like this, and they are respecting that. Cool. That's completely up to you. As far as what canceling is, I got to say, the best part about being alive right now, and I know it can feel like a really challenging time to be alive right now, but as a part of being alive right now, it is so great to have options to respond to things. And I have to, so the reason I kind of hung on that word is because, I hate that no one really knows what it means, but I love that it exists, because once upon a time, if people did really bad things, your only option was to suck it up, sunshine, suck it up, buttercup, or whatever equivalent it was, because we had no power to fight back against people who had power and wanted to abuse it. So now to be in a place where we have a lot of options, canceling is the personal rejection, you with someone that you don't have a direct relationship, right? If you have, now that I know what I know about, Bill Cosby, I can't watch the show anymore. Bill Cosby has been canceled in my world. That does not mean that I have personally organized a group, called the station, tried to hurt his livelihood in any way, right? It really is a form of a personal boundary, and that's usually expressed with a bit of sadness. Like, yeah, I used to love his show, but for obvious reasons, he's canceled, right? And so I don't believe that you can cancel a personal friendship. Now, you can fire a friend. You can break up with a friend. Whether or not this is something to break up over is none of my business, and you've couched it pretty clearly. So I want to start there. I just want to make sure that that's not that you thought I would tell you how to conduct your friendships, because that's not what I do. I will always call out things that sound abusive when they present, and I will do it privately and respectfully as much as I can, because I think one of the things, I know I need to own this, even though I'm not receiving a paycheck for the work I do in the community. One thing I know is abuse, what it looks like, what it sounds like, and when it is escalating. And if I was seeing something abusive, I will always say something, because it's really important that we do that with each other, again, in a way that does not feel accusatory or calling out sort of way. Canceling can sound like a call out if you feel the need to share that disappointment, that rejection with people. Most of the time, it's just like, it's gone and we don't talk about it anymore. Like the music of R. Kelly. I can't enjoy it anymore. So what I had this friend a long time ago. We're still good friends now. But where the conflict came in a long time ago was that, and I remember saying this to in therapy, saying to my therapist, therapy is great, by the way. If you don't have a therapist, get a therapist. It's amazing. Imagine having like a personal advocate that's always like on your side no matter what. Even when you're wrong, we'll find some way to like deliver the message in a way that you can receive it, which most friends don't know how to do. It takes a lot of training. And she's really good at me with this. But I remember sitting there complaining about this friend of mine who always has a brand new hobby. And we met because the brand new hobby, while she was going through it, was running. And I was really excited. We were going to do all this running together, and we were going to do all this training. And then it never happened. We stayed friends, but not running together, while she decided she was going to pick up French. And then there was a Korean cooking class. And it was always something, and most of the things were not accessible to me, because what I thought that our friendship was being founded on was running. I remember saying to my therapist, like, she never follows through. She never keeps going. I don't know what I need to stay here or why I even bother. And my therapist looked right at me and said, so what you're saying is your friend's hobby is having hobbies. How is this a problem for you? And that kind of sat me back and got me thinking, like, why does this bother me so much? It shouldn't have to. It doesn't have to. So I tell you all of that to tell you this. Once something gets in your head, it can be really hard to get it out. This person isn't complete, or this person isn't doing what she said she was going to do. There can feel like a disconnect there. So any boundaries that you need to erect, you can't like shut all people out, but you can erect boundaries. And you did a brilliant job erecting boundaries in this, not just in this question, the way you posed it to me, but in your friendship too. And I've got to give you a little bit of credit that most people don't have the wherewithal to say, could you please stop? That hurts. Especially now when we're in a time when please stop that hurts will get you accused of canceling, or can elicit a big response because I should be able to say whatever I want, whenever I want, and you shouldn't be able to feel anything. Seems to be normalizing, and it's not normal. It's not okay. That's abuse. But the way you get that out of your head, in my book, especially if this is someone that you're continuing to see, because that'll always be there underneath, that little bit of disappointment every time you see this person. And the way that I would deal with that personally would be 4 words. Dan, you might want to tap out, pause, go to the bathroom if you're watching this. 4 words: Morning Glory Milking Farm. You're like, what the fuck is she talking about? So go Google it or look at it up on your phone. I'll wait. Did you see it yet? I know, right? What is that? The only way the world will find balance from your friends having put those thoughts in your head is for you to put something else in theirs. And that's what I recommend. It is such a thing now with me that with all my friends, like I've been referencing this book for years, ever since I heard of it, its existence, because it was like, what is that? What a name. What is this? What's it about? Whoa. I kind of didn't want to know that, but now that I know, I don't know what to do with this. And it's just, it's sort of like 50 Shades of Grey. Once it's entered the cultural lexicon, there's no getting it out. It just sort of blows up. It's like, does the same in your brain. So I would find some way to put that in her brain. And at least that's the call side. Whenever one of my friends, people who are closest to me in my life, say something along that kind of rubs up against my sensibilities in a way that is not going to lead anywhere good, if I actually respond to what they're saying with that, hey, you hurt me, could you stop? I just moo. And they get it. They're like, oh my gosh, because that's a visual that's not going anywhere once you've read the cover, the book jacket. And for me, that's an empowering thing. So it serves a couple purposes. Number 1, it shuts them up. Number 2, no one really wants to think about that. Scar an eye for an eye, so to speak. I'm live streaming. I love you. It's Sunday night. It's okay. I'll be done in a few minutes. But also it gives me that sense of power back. Like, I know what I just did to your brain, and it's awful. And it's because it's not harmful and hurtful. It's not going to scar them for life. But hopefully when you see them, you too will think of this Morning Glory Milking Farm and laugh really hard, because it's ridiculous. It's almost as ridiculous as giving up on your goals because someone said something they didn't understand about something they could not possibly comprehend wanting to do. Their response probably, I can't speak for them and I'm not going to try. More often than not, though, what we're saying, and we're not really clear about saying it always, like Nikia will throw out all these races that she wants to do. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. You're going to love it. Just because I have no desire to do it doesn't mean that she shouldn't try. She wants to do all kinds of crazy things. And I'm like, absolutely not. You go, I'll watch, I'll push, I will help. And that is what, obviously, I don't need to tell you how to conduct your friendship, but that's really what we need to be going for when we communicate with each other. You've got a brand new hobby. I can't wait to hear about it. And to this day, that's probably the only thing we ever talk about is her new hobbies, because mine haven't changed. And she still goes like, oh, why would you want to do that when I talk about running too? The reason that we're friends is because we still find each other relatively interesting. And hopefully she can get to a place where she doesn't miss out on your super cool adventure. But I'm also a little jealous that she knows about this goal and I don't. So, like, why have you not gotten in office hours and shared this goal with me? Because I want to be really excited. Because the most effective thing I can do, other than Morning Glory Milking Farm, which, yes, you can thank me later, is to get on the phone with you and get really, really excited so that you have something else to focus on, something positive, a better touchstone, not just in your everyday, but you need an MK brainworm to go eat that brainworm that your friend put there, right? It needs to die. I'm kill it. Getting off hours so I can tell you how amazing you are, how capable you are, how this is going to happen, and how loved you are. Okay? I love it. Because this person don't need to be canceled. They deserve to see you shine. I can't wait to get you there. Is my goal to get as close to 140 without going over, or just stay below, and that is good if it's 120, 130 instead? The latter. You don't have to get close to it at all. It's a speed limit, but unlike being on the road, cops will slow you down if you're too far below the speed limit. Ask me how I know. Too many neighborhoods where I just like, I am not comfortable actually like, our speed limit's 75. Are you kidding? I don't know about this. So we find out in Kansas, we let my husband drive through Kansas. You can go really fast in Kansas, y'all. Oh my gosh. So I tell you that to tell you this. It is a cap. So the top end of the easy effort band is 140. Anything above that, odds are pretty good you're using some glucose, and we want to keep this 100% cardiovascular oxygen burning. So I don't care where you are beneath 140 on an easy effort day, as long as you're beneath 140 on an easy effort day. On harder days, sky's the limit. Just remember, nothing really good happens over 180. So we need to limit how much time we're there. While you're with me over time, you'll learn that glorified process of learning how to run by feel and finding all of the shades in between. But we start with getting really, 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 really used to super duper light, easy effort. And that comes anywhere under 140. I'm as happy with you at 80 as I am at 110 or 138. Okay. What are 3 simple exercises to work on glute strength? And would that be helpful for both walking and running? Yeah, it would. The 3 simplest exercises you could do would be some sort of a slight weight in your hand, like as long as you're not don't go crazy with the weight. Like we just 2 pounds is plenty. And then increase the weight as you go. Doing single leg step ups or squats. Double leg squats. Lunges are fine. If you're going to do lunges, I would beg you to do walking lunges or reverse lunges and be really careful about it. The thing I don't like about lunges is that you have to be very strong to do a good one. And you're more likely to tear up your knee than you are to get a good lunge done, because it requires a lot of glute strength just to perform a lunge. So I don't like telling people to start with lunges. I'm more like, let's climb stairs. Let's work stairs into your routine. And each time you climb the stairs, do it like a soldier, like soldier marching, lifting up your knee as high as you can with each step and trying to keep your cage locked and your shoulders back. Maybe carry a little 2-pound weight while you do the steps only. I don't know, which can be awkward unless you're doing them somewhere around your house, like at the high school stadium we have down the street. But depending on where you are, that's kind of where I would start with the squats. Reverse lunges, be careful with those. I prefer to change the plane of motion. So if we can do stairs, that really would be optimal. Or getting on a Bosu ball. If you have Bosu ball, Bosu Booty number 1, go look for that routine on our YouTube channel. I promise it's there. I did a demonstration for Dan a long time ago, and I had a lot more body strength than I do right now as I deal with my health issues, which are improving, but I'm not to the point where I can demonstrate strength successfully yet, because I'm just sucking wind the whole time. It's a little bitter, a little better, a little stronger every day. We'll get there soon. We're just not there yet. So those are the 3 that I would start with, and that's the series that you can find on YouTube. You can also jump in the extra mile. I know that's a lot more stuff, but if you want more variety, when you enter the room each day and say hi to Coach Janet and tell her what you're looking for, she will deliver. She's wonderful like that. So, Coach MK, I'm sure you've noticed it's getting hotter and hotter, and I'm getting slower and slower. How do I deal with this? It's a good question, and it's a hard question. Slow down is the best that I've got. One of the things that I've been having to deal with since my health fun started is having to wake up every day and take my blood pressure first thing. So the condition that I have causes high cholesterol, really ridiculously high blood pressure. Like we almost need to medicate it, type blood pressure high. And an incredible amount of like fatigue and exhaustion. So unfortunately, with that first 2 combination, everyone's like, diet and exercise is what you need. And I'm like, I can't restrict anymore than I'm already restricting, and I can't exercise anymore because I don't have the energy. What do I do? Well, now that I'm feeling a whole lot better on this enzyme therapy, I promise you'll see what this has to do with you in a minute. I'm going to get to something that feels like the point. But one of the things that I have to measure each morning, first thing when I get out of bed, is my blood pressure. And some days it's higher, some days it's lower, but they want that raw data from right when the moment that I wake up. On a day when I wake up and it reads 139/86, which is high, not medicated high, but it should not be that high when you get out of bed because you haven't done anything yet. That's a day that I know that working harder isn't going to do anything for me, because I've woken up and my body is already in a stressed out state. Oh, yep. Somebody put the Bosu Booty up there. Yay, Boasty Beauty #1. There's the link. Thank you. So on a day when I've woken up and my body is already in a stressed out state, I know that doing a hard workout isn't going to really go anywhere. I'm not going to be building any muscle because all the excess energy that I have is going to managing whatever is stressing my body out. I know that as much as I want to run right now, and there are mornings I wake up dreaming of it, like, oh, maybe I'm good enough to go yet. I'm not, but I want to be. I know that my body isn't ready to yet because I have that sign. Same thing. If you're outside and maybe you don't have high blood pressure, but that feeling that comes along with it, nothing good can come from this. Listen to that and find a way to get through to enjoy the time without being so focused on the outcome. Because what we need to get out of this is a little bit of motion, a little bit of time to yourself, and a little bit of detachment from everything else going on in your day. I would love for it to be the fast rhythmic motion that I've been used to most of my life. I cannot wait to get back to that. But you know what? It is not hard to enjoy listening to an audiobook. Turns out the library does audiobooks. I am like, why was I not doing this sooner? Because I love reading and it's hard to read while I run, but I can listen to an audiobook while I walk, and I can actually, I don't know, it's just like, I can read while I'm at home and then rent the audiobook and then pick up where I left off and listen to the book. So I'm still reading while I'm moving, and it's amazing. So that is another, so rather than getting like wound up or about what I can't do while I'm out there, I'm finding a way to connect with it, because there's no other condition under which I listen to audiobooks, y'all. I don't have to drive that much here in Denver. So that is part of dealing with the heat, is accepting what you can't do and not focusing on it, finding a way to get excited about what you can do, like with an audiobook, and carrying lots and lots of extra water, stashing electrolytes in the water and all over the place. I have lemon in my water and a little bit of not Epsom salt. I almost said Epsom salt. That is not what I meant, y'all. Himalayan sea salt. I put a little bit of a coarse ground sea salt in my water before I go out, to just, again, a little extra potassium, a little extra sodium. It cannot hurt right now. Again, don't have to massively overdo it, because a lot of the sports drinks have a lot of sugar, and if we're not doing super hard workouts, we don't have to worry about continually replacing our glucose stores, but we are probably not thinking enough about replenishing our electrolyte stores in our body. Right now, again, going harder is not going to get you any further. Trying to have a really hard run for the sake of fitness on a really hot day isn't going to help you any more than a hard run on a day when my blood pressure is already high is going to help me. And it can be hard to sort of accept that. But again, knowing that I have an audiobook waiting for me gives me the ability to embrace it. Because once upon a time, it was easier to roll out of bed and just go for a run. Coolest part of the day. Not so much anymore. And these cool parts of the day aren't as cool as they used to be. So I can't promise what's going to happen next year. All I can do is say, let's count on it getting worse and find a way to connect with the activity now while we still can. Maybe that's too dramatic. Maybe it's not. I don't really care. I do know it's not getting cooler, though. So electrolytes, potassium, something to keep your brain occupied. If your body's not doing what you want it to do, you can still find a really great way to have a really terrific workout. So, and for the final note, for years I chafed when people were like, but I worry that if I'm not running hard, I'm not burning as many calories. And I can tell you now definitively, after like months and months and months of walking, I am burning the same amount of calories now as I was then. It's amazing to me to look on a day when I've done a 4.5, almost 5 mile walk like I did today, and I've burned almost 2,800 calories. And I look back on those days and I burnt a lot less. Like a big calorie burn day with the big run might be like 2,300. So you're not as far behind as you think you are, no matter where you are or what you're doing. Whenever you're not doing whatever it is that you want to do in comfortable conditions, the conditions you would want to do them in, the conditions that you've usually done them in, it's frustrating. It's maddening. I get it. All of that is valid, but it doesn't mean that we're better off if we quit. Because I tell you, everything's better with a walk, and it gave me a chance to dry my hair. It's been a while since I did that, because I only dry my hair after a hard workout. Like that's sort of not the reward, but it's like, now I'm going into the world with good hair. you know? And workouts were my cue to shower for a really long time. So there was a period when I got a little nasty when I wasn't working out as regularly. And I've corrected that with drying my hair too. So again, finding the thing, not specifically a reward, because I just think, you know, we're grown-ups. We're past the point we need to like reward good behavior. But shoot, yeah, find something you connect with and enjoy it. We should be doing as little as possible that we don't enjoy these days. And not everything we do has to be goal oriented. Sometimes a little time for me is the goal, and that's good enough. You are coached, you are loved. I hope you have the firmest boundaries around everything you do as that person who asks that first question. I love it and I love you. And just know that even if you've seen Morning Glory Milking Farm, know what I'm talking about, or Scarred for Life, yay! You're still winning at life, y'all. You can thank me later.